Hi guys, my name is Laura Sanders, and I promise I'm not trying to be cool recording in my car. I'm just multitasking, as we know that leaders often have to do. So, Laura Sanders, I currently serve as the third through fifth grade language arts program specialist for the Georgia Department of Education. However, I have recently accepted a position going back into the classroom after a couple of years as an instructional coach and then a year in this position. And I'm very excited. People look at me like I have three heads when I tell them I'm going back into the classroom, but I'm so excited I dream about it at night. Strange. I have taught my entire career in public school, 19 years in the classroom, grades 2 through 5, 2 years as an instructional coach, a year with the department, and then I'll actually be a fifth grade co-teacher next year. So just trying out all the things. Um, I don't know if it's a hobby. My daughter is a barrel racer, and she has also recently started jumping horses, which is why I'm recording for the car from the car while I wait on her to finish a lesson. So that's all I have time for in my life right now, as far as hobbies. Although I would say I do love to read. So after going through the leadership self assessment, I was not really surprised by the results. One of the biggest ones was that I need to listen carefully. I read entire books about this as an instructional coach, about listening, and tried to practice this actively, and I'm still just not great at it. So I know that that's an area I need to grow. One thing that I was a little bit surprised about was that my real struggle was in conflict management, especially constructive negative feedback, which is an instructional coach for a couple of years, I was having to do a decent amount of, but it is just not something that I enjoy. I would be the leader that would give you a 4 on everything for your teaks. And I know this about myself. So the single area that I marked as like a major growth. Um as I looked through the information for this particular module, I was reminded of a class we had in the fall that also explored management versus leadership. So that was kind of exciting to see some of the same types of information come up. And in the first video, I really appreciated his perspective and his personality. The way that he said you say things differently when your boss is in the room is completely true. I thought that that was so accurate. But one of the things he mentioned that I had not considered in relationship to leadership was the importance of fellowship in the culture that we live in today. And I think that really fits with the reading of the chapter where I feel like educational management um, gets a bad rap. First of all, I think that both are extremely important. I love the part where it said it was an executive function and it requires delegation. But the thing about leaders is that they tend to be influencers. And that's what he referenced as well, is the influence that they have a lot of times depends on who's willing to follow them. So it just made me think about, as an educational leader, establishing a fellowship of other teachers or other leaders who are actually willing to follow my vision or a vision, which is one of the things that the reading and the second video that we watched both pointed towards, which was the importance of leaders having a vision. And I've watched a couple of videos from classmates so far, and I definitely think one of the places that I differ is that I don't view educational management as a bad thing at all. And I know that that's very common. And I agree with several people that I've seen leaders that are good leaders, and managers that are poor managers. But if you ever have a strong manager and they surround themselves, or a leader that surrounds themselves with the opposite kind. So if you have a strong educational leader and their APs or educational managers, that is when I just feel like you can have very successful experiences with school level leadership, is when you're using those executive functioning skills that come to management, the vision that comes with leadership, partnered together with a fellowship that can move. Ultimately, the ultimate goal is to move kids forward. And so hopefully, as the semester goes on and the modules go on, then we will continue to learn more about the whole thing. Loving it.